We are now only days away from the launch of Planet Coaster 2 on PC and console, so before we get to release day, let's have a quick recap of what we can expect from the new entry in the series. Probably the biggest feature coming to Planco 2 is the introduction of water parks. For the first time in the franchise, players will be able to add pools, flumes, lazy rivers, changing rooms, walk-in dryers, lifeguards, sun lounges, and pool theming to their parks. You can even build a park exclusively using these things with no rides or roller coasters at all. Collaborations. Franchise mode is getting a bit of an upgrade with Planet Coaster 2. First introducing Planet Zoo, this time round you'll be able to collaborate with your friends as you can now upload your park to the cloud exclusively for your franchise members to download and continue working on. When they're done, they simply re-upload the new version with the option to add some handy changelogs to the file, and boom, you can continue where they left off to. Handy for those like me that are rubbish at building roller coasters but live for the theming. This time round, weather will have a significant effect on your guests and their enjoyment at your park. Guests can quite literally bake in the sun on those summer days, so your shops will now be able to sell sunscreen so you can grab a little extra income if guests are looking for that factor 50. There's also rain to contend with too, and this time it's making your guests miserable, so be sure to provide some cover for them to shelter under. Or perhaps just some umbrellas, because again, income. Let's talk paths. Building them has never been so easy. You can draw, stamp, cut, widen, fill, layer, everything you wanted to do in Planco 1 basically. You can even plop shops and flat rides down on top of existing pathing. Plazas are properly coming, and they're going to be huge. Quite literally, your whole park could be concrete if you really wanted it to be. Speaking of scenery, bigger is better, and so is smaller. Lucky really, because you can now resize any piece of scenery or even entire blueprints. Oh, and if you wasn't a fan of spending hours plopping down trees and bushes in the first game, you'll be happy to know there is now a foliage paintbrush to very quickly lay down some awesome looking forests in next to no time. Managing your staff in Planco 2 is about to get some changes. You'll now be able to assign work patterns to each staff member as well as schedule breaks for each employee individually so you can ensure that each station in your park is covered at all times. There's also 2 new staff types with lifeguards keeping an eye on your guests while they're enjoying your new pools and slides, and ride attendants to operate all your fancy new rides in your park. The game has had a bit of a facelift too, with some new technical features happening under the hood to ensure that your parks are operating as smoothly as possible while looking as nice as possible. Ray tracing is being utilized to make lighting look amazing, your dark rides really will be dark, and those lights you're using will realistically illuminate whatever their environment they're placed in. The world of Planet Coaster has never looked this good. Planet Coaster 2 launches on November 6th and is coming to Steam, the Epic Store, Xbox Series X and S, and PlayStation 5. Are you looking forward to diving back into this one?